now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being there. This is the first interview of this year, 2016. This time we are interviewing Saima Butt from the UK. And I will be conducting the interview during the next 10-20 minutes. So, Saima, thank you so much for your participation here and your availability. It has been a pleasure to have you here last year and during the ICF on Tour conference. And we thought that would be really interesting to have a one-to-one conversation with you. And therefore, we're doing this a conversa com, these monthly interviews. So I would like to give you the word now and ask you to introduce yourself.
Well, hello, Maggie. It's just lovely to hear you again and connect with you again. I had such a wonderful time when we all met, and I was over in Lisbon, and I'm delighted to be able to do this interview as well for you and, of course, for the ICF Portugal Chapter 2. Yeah, as you said, my name is Saima Butt. I am based in Oxford in England. A little bit about me then. At work, I love engaging with sponsors and senior leaders and their respective executive teams. For them, I deliver coaching, coach training, mentoring and facilitation. I have an MCC from the ICF, as well as a master's in business. At home, I also get involved with voluntary work that's associated with the International Coach Federation, and I'm a trustee at my son's school. For fun, I love traveling. I love connecting with new people and understanding their diversity and their cultures. For me, that's just a real passion of what I love to do.
Good. Well, we are starting a new year. So 2016, well, time flies actually. What are your expectations for the coaching profession this year?
Oh, you know, I was thinking about that all over again this year because it was a milestone for me as well in the coaching world or in the coaching field. And for me, it's important that coaches are trained through a professional body. I think my expectations are that we value the work that we do, and therefore we're valued by our coach users, the people that use us as coaches, that there are no bounds to where we can work. We can be used to bring out the best in people, and that the profession is respected for its professional standards. This is ultimately what's really important to me, that we're respected for our professional standards and our ethics, which of course people can measure, and I know that that's very possible now. I think as coaches it becomes our responsibility that we look after our own industry. We grow it, we nurture it, and we look after it. And so we go after the best training that's available. We make sure that we're being supervised. We make sure that we're being mentored. And we achieve the credential basis that we can. And then we continue to develop and grow. For me, that's really important. I know you and I were talking earlier on about being an MCC. Yes, I am. It's also equally important for me that I continue to develop and I continue to grow. So for me, I think it's a little bit about that.
So, and that's good that you mentioned being an MCC, because I noticed when you present yourself, when you introduce, you said I have an MCC, and having and being is different. A lot of people say I am a PCC or I am a MCC. In your opinion, what is the differentiation point, for instance, of MCC compared to the other credentials?
Compared to the other credentials? Well, first of all, let me just say, having a credential, whether it's an ACC, PCC, or MCC, is a standard to say that you're taking your profession and you're taking your own development seriously. For me, it's about professionalism. It's about when I'm working with my senior leaders and their executive teams, and these people are at the top of their industry, they're at the top of their organization. I want to be able to represent myself in that equal way, in that partnership, that when we come together, I too feel that I'm at the top of my game. it's added to the quality of my engagement with the people that I work with. And of course now, the differentiation, I guess, is that I have the luxury, Maggie. I have the luxury to be able to choose who I work with and when I work with them. That to me is important. In myself, I think my own personal differentiation, and I think you asked about being an MCC, it was that moment when I let go of all my technical training, that moment when I just let go and trusted in myself, that I knew, and that I was then just present to the client. I think that made a big difference.
And what advice would you give to any coach here in Portugal that's pursuing this MCC credential?
Wow. Well, first of all, I mean, I've been there. This is familiar. First, I want to congratulate them for the commitment and the endurance, the marathon that they run in getting to this point. I congratulate them on their coaching journey to this point. And I just want to say, keep at it. Go for it. Go get it. Absolutely go get it. You know, break down. If I have any advice, and if I wish, there was something that my mentor taught me. She said, look, it's just a bunch of hoops. Break them down into small steps to be able to get your credentialing step by step. And actually in that process, when I went through it, I learned so much more beyond the technical training, beyond the training about myself that I think I really valued. And just be you. In that process, be you. Enjoy the process. And then, of course, enjoy the benefits that you're going to be recognized as a professional, absolutely at the top of your field.
It is very interesting what you're saying, the enjoying the process. Because the human being has this mindset of doing, and see a lot of things like tasks. That I need to do this, I need to accomplish that, and sometimes we forget to carpe diem, enjoy the moment, seize the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's really important. That's really important. And for me, I think that moment when I just realized it's a process. There are standards to achieve, and there is a good, thorough, robust process there. But break it down and just go ahead and go through it. And I openly invite people that the moment when you can start to see yourself being present to that, you can achieve it.
And in your experience as a coach, what is your the competency that for you is your main challenge?
Oh, what a lovely question. I love this question, Maggie. Now, you know, as a certified mental coach, I say to my coach clients that each competency builds onto the next one. And that's the way you get a powerful coaching conversation, because each one builds on the next one. So if you miss one out, you're not going to achieve the full desired outcome for your client. The competencies act almost like a domino effect. So for me, this is the way I'm going to answer that question, Maggie. You can say that they're all important. They're all important. And in being present to your client, you will intuitively just focus on each of them equally to be able to get for your client what they want out of that conversation. So, you know, you're asking me, so I guess why? You know, why is that the case? And I know that when I'm present, when I'm absolutely in the moment, and I'm talking about core competency number 4 now, okay? And I've let go of everything else outside of the coaching conversation. So it's just me and my client or the team that I'm coaching. The session then just flows. So if I was to pick one, I'm not going to pick one. What I'm going to say is focus on the more. Actively engage in the more. Without direct communication, you're not going to get insight and awareness. Creating awareness, core competency 8. It's important that you wrap up with the last 3 core competencies. getting an MCC isn't around making sure that you fulfill the obligation of going through every single one of those 11 core competencies. I encourage you, as you're studying to become credentialed at ACC and PCC, to become thoroughly able to master all of them at equal measure.
And I remember when you were talking here in Lisbon in last October, that you're talking about this unique coaching and each of the coaches being unique in that moment with that person. In this sense, what is the best version of you coaching?
I guess for me, it's that moment when I'm serving my client to draw on their best resources, their best potential of who and what that they can be. That's when I'm being at my best, when I'm serving me. I know I'm serving my client. That often means resisting the temptation to think about anything else that's going on. Being there, being available. The more I know I can be available to my clients as me, because I know that that's what they're buying. I don't think they buy a label or a badge. The label and the badge helps, but I think they're buying me. I think the better I create for my clients some support, some security, some safety, that then they become almost the source of their next powerful question. So me at my best, I think, is just being there for them, for the people that I engage with.
It's like a sequence. Being there for them will trigger the listening and everything, and then will also help them to be more open with you, and I mean with the coach and with themselves as well, and therefore that evolves into a exceptional coaching session, which is very good for us. I mean, we feel good when we deliver a good coaching session. We help them.
Absolutely. And I think I might use the terms trust. I think our clients look for something around integrity and whether we have a sense of shared values, shared understanding. And the moment they start to get a sense of that, they do just become more open to that. And we then give them permission to listen to themselves, actively listen to themselves and listen to their patterns and their programs, that they can then almost start to self-coach themselves.
So I'm conscious of our time, and I just would like to pose you a challenge to leave as well a challenge to our listeners, so they become their best version this year in 2016.
The challenge, and for 2016, hey, we're right at the beginning of the year. Plenty of time to practice. My invitation to coaches who want to be uniquely themselves, to be them, would be to first go out there and genuinely enjoy, love, be passionate. Be passionate about what you do. And begin to understand yourself. Know yourself. Know who you are. Know what motivates you. Know what values exist that are important to you. And understand how some of your values become conflicted. Go out there, and I would say, find the people that inspire you. Find the organizations, find the teams, the professionals that whose values you share, and go out and work with them. Because when you work with them, they bring out the best in you as you bring out the best in them. And that's got to be a win-win. That's got to be success for everybody, right? And I wish you all absolutely a happy new year for 2016 and all the very best success for your coaching journeys. I look forward to hearing more around how some of you wonderful people in Portugal have been successful with coaching.
Thank you, Saima. Thank you very much for your best wishes. We also, the whole ICF Portugal, wishes you a great 2016. Thanks for this interview. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. The whole interview, I was smiling, so my face is in pain. So that's just how happy I am to be conducting this interview. So
Right.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And my love to the Portuguese coaches.